Installers, after you've done the emission test, the manufacturer wants to know one particular gas. So is it the air, carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide? I will tell you later, but have a think which one is for you the most important. And stay tuned because I'm going to tell you which one of the three parts you may need to change. A lot of people are confused about air and oxygen. The answer is, of course, we breathe in air. Oxygen is one element of it, 20% or so. But the main part is nitrogen, 78%. So we need to make sure that the boiler has that sort of amount of air into it. We see that marked excess air. And don't forget, 4% of air is water. Carbon dioxide is a very slow killer. We start getting headaches or we're dizzy, feeling weak, and so on. So whenever we see a naked flame, which could be a coal fire, a gas fire, obviously the boiler will, but also don't forget cigarettes, cigars, or any of those others. Where you see a flame, you will see carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide there as well. So there are gadgets that can test it, and I'll come to that in a minute. Every year in the United Kingdom, we get around 4 to 6, maybe 7 people die of carbon monoxide poisoning, which is terrible. And the number one place is a caravan, because they have gas hobs, gas fires. But the other one is tents. People going camping and using that inside the tent without adequate ventilation. So make sure that you get a carbon monoxide tester. And I'll come to that in a second. So remember, carbon monoxide has no smell. It goes through walls. It will be sucked through there. And quite often boilers in bedrooms don't have a monoxide tester, which they should do. But also, if a boiler is adjacent to a bedroom, there again, have a carbon monoxide tester. This is serious work. A carbon monoxide tester is only around £10 or £20. That's a small price to pay for protection. If you live in somebody else's property, by law they have to provide a tester located in where the installation manual tells you to. But there's nothing to stop you buying your own and making sure that you are safe. Here is the answer. Which is the most important? It's CO2, carbon dioxide. It's not monoxide or the ratio. The manufacturer tells us to make sure that the boiler is to their number that's written in the installation manual. If it isn't, phone the factory for guidance. Here is a typical flowchart. This one is from Worcester Bosch, but all the manufacturers will have something similar, how to achieve that perfect result of CO2. Here's an excellent example from Baxi that they're asking for 8.4% of CO2. And just a reminder, every boiler will be slightly different. So you always got to look in the MI, the manufacturer's information or instruction, what that boiler needs. And we need to adjust it to make sure that we achieve that setting. My good friend Derek from Tomcat Training has given us permission to use this from one of his recent videos, which is brilliant. It's that one in the garage, yes? And if you show this to a customer and you say, oh, your monoxide's 114, well, we know that at 200, alarm bells are ringing. The CO2, 9.4, is that good or bad? Haven't got a clue. Oxygen, 4.4, haven't got a clue. But with my chart, you can show the customer. You can see how brilliant that boiler is. It's been well looked after, the emissions are as good as new, and any end user and you yourself can see there's nothing wrong with it. It's brilliant. Here's my readings from last August. The boiler is 12 years of age, Intergas, which we love, because I can't be bothered with diverter valves, plate-to-plate heat exchangers and all of that stuff. I like it simple, and obviously Intergas is top of the range. And you can see the figures. Remember, this is 12 years old, but they mean nothing to anybody else. So let me show you on my chart. Now you can see how good that boiler is, and it's unbelievable. So if you can now show your customer, as I've said before, that's much better than a little printout with all sorts of numbers. Download this app, the F22 fault finding and error codes, because not only does that contain lots of manuals and hints and tips and so on, but you can phone the factory directly from site. If the boiler readings end up where the circles are, somewhere in the middle, that's obviously going to be a strip down according to the factory. So you're going to need to phone them up for guidance, which parts and what you need to do to get it back into the white section, because that's where it should be. If it's in the red, that's immediate shutdown and a new boiler. Doesn't matter what you do, you are not going to fix it. These three parts, the PCB, fan and gas valve, at least one of them or all of them may need changing to get the efficiency up and back into the white section. If you take advantage of our special offer and order 2 books for just £40, and it includes postage and packing, only available to UK postcodes, we will give you a free CO2 chart. This offer is available only until the end of January 2025. I've been using this DC710 for donkey's years. It's absolutely brilliant, very fast, reliable, brilliant app. It's got loads and loads of things that other manufacturers don't include. They charge extra, but here it's all included. So check it out. It's a really good one.